Bam. Hi. How he's doing? He's doing good. Doing. Yeah, something tells me we'd have had a bigger crowd last night, but somebody fucked it up.
Yeah, John. The fuck, man.
Yeah, I took a picture of myself last night and I used it as my avatar today, so now this is what you get because my face ain't dealing with that much makeup again.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. I'll give it a 6 of 6.5, I suppose.
I assume you wake up like that.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, totally. That didn't take an hour at all.
uh, by the way, Missy, say something because I don't think we can hear you. Oh no, we can, but you're really soft.
Yeah, you are a little low. I don't know.
There we go.
Does it
There.
like not show me on camera on the stream?
It's it. Oh, I'm over. I'm going over you.
That's yeah, Discording.
Yeah.
Discording.
No, that was me. I put my camera over yours. My camera's separate from the rest of you guys. It's
Oh,
so.
you bastard.
I know. I was culturally appropriating John, um, and his blackness.
My what?
Your blackness. You said you want to be a black guy. Well, I'm taking you at your word, sir. Uhuru, Uhuru, brother.
Pretty sure.
I don't know. Low energy applied it.
Damn
I
right.
guess he calls me to like open my eyes and realize something. I
What?
need to come to terms with. Or my transracialism.
Oh no.
I never thought about it before, but low energy posted that joke just now. Now I'm
Really?
gonna have to. What is it? What's that thing they take to turn their skin black? The Lelin tan or
Melatonin.
I don't fucking know.
Melatonin.
Making so
Nope.
good injection. You want to be like Nuka Zeus?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone strives to be like Nuka
Nuka
Zeus.
Jean. Jean does.
Gina juice. Gina juice.
I like Nuka G.
Nuka
Jean.
Jean.
why I moved to Baltimore.
See, in here, I thought we were talking about your soul and not your skin color.
Oh no, we're talking. Nope.
No.
No, he's his soul is hardcore white bread. Like
Really stop. We're gonna go into territory.
Yeah, John.
We're gonna get
Jerk.
No, you guys.
John, why did you bring up race, John? I mean, my God, like what the hell?
I don't think I brought it up this time.
Oh, I think you kind of did.
I think you might have.
Mm.
Rewind footage. I think he
Blame
brought
you.
up the.
You know
Put
what?
it
Your
in
mind.
the.
You know
put
what?
it in
Your,
the chat.
yeah, but the stream didn't see the chat.
Yep. You know,
You're
at the
under
end,
arrest.
you know, can't cancel,
Racist.
John. You know. Oh, this is low energy.
Smells bad.
Well,
Ain't no good authority.
I'll know firsthand what he smells like when I take a whiff out of him when he's not expecting it over in Philly. He'll turn around. Yeah, real creeper mode. I'm gonna have his hair interwoven with my beard. I'm so close to him. We're just gonna
Try the camera out first.
well, I don't do everything on camera. You don't see me doing all that my meth. Like some things you just want to keep. You want to keep off camera, a little bit classy. We have lives outside of this show, and if you like this show, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, and maybe even hit that notification bell and check out things like the Discord and the Twitter. And we have a stream goal trying to raise up because I'm going on Sunday. I'm off to Dublin on Sunday, and on Monday, early Monday, I grab on the plane, and this is what tonight is for. So, tune in. Yeah, it's so close now. It's crazy. I've been planning this for about a year, and with everything that's been happening, from terrible weather to someone we need to talk about by the name of Augusta, who will not be joining us on this trip due to a rather chaotic couple of days that saw him burn a lot of bridges. He will not be joining us. So on the off chance you're watching this, don't be fucking... Yeah. Fuck, you'll know when I land. So I am a little bit worried you're actually going to be in the airport or something like that. Don't. It's over. Fucking move on. Okay?
I don't know if I want to come now. I'm scared.
Well, he won't be following us down to Philly. I'm more worried about coming on when I land in JFK after like 8 hours plus change of flying, and I see him in waiting for me. I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do? I'm not gonna take a swing at him, but I'm gonna fucking just be so exhausted that I'm probably just gonna put up with him for like 20 minutes. And I don't want that.
Waiting for you at the airport. That's
But following you down to Philly would be a whole new level of creepy that as much as I have forgiveness in my heart for people's struggles, I do know people in Philly that will take care of that.
I can if he does that, I can take care of it myself, and I imagine some other people here might want in on that as well.
I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say, you know what, he is.
I wouldn't expect him.
Yeah, I'm not expecting him to show up. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. He understands that he is not welcome.
Yeah.
But if he does, on the off chance, gets it in his head, oh, I know, I'll go make amends in person. If I do this in person, they'll understand. I will freak out and start screaming at the top of my lungs and make a giant scene and embarrass you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm shocked that he did all that because he seemed pretty reasonable, like in the Discord and the live chat as a mod.
He had a rough year. He had a very rough year. A lot of personal things and health.
Did all we could to be supportive of him.
Oh, 100%. But there were a lot of red flags that were starting to become more and more apparent as they came on. And it was all... You know what the weirdest thing is? The thing that broke the straw that broke the camel's back was him doing something good. Calling out someone in the Discord, someone separate, who did a very bad thing. And then he just wouldn't shut up about it. And it's like he went off the fucking deep end. That was the last thing he needed, just to go off on this spurgy, tismy rant that he's never stopped. Yeah.
Hey, that's ableist.
Hey, I'm one of them, so I get the word. You get the N word because of your blackness. I get to use the T word.
No.
Are you encouraging me to use it?
No.
Yes, but only when Shabisky is on. Okay. Well, next time you do the pedestrians, you be sure to say it. And then if Dirt and Shabby start complaining, just being like it's your culture, and that you are being oppressed, and you don't respond to your slave name anymore.
In no,
You dare.
I won't do it on my
In
stream.
no
I'll do
way
it on
would
some
we-
Disney stream.
Oh, even better.
we cut it up and make a bunch of like song parodies either. That would
Right.
No, we wouldn't do that.
You will never live it down, don't you dare. And
Or
help
like a Trace
Internet is
crying.
forever, people.
I'm being a friend to you here, G. Like, I'm being kind. Don't you fucking dare.
Oh,
Hey, Shab,
Bill.
Shab
Thanks,
will,
Bill.
Like ask people to say it on his stream.
Bill is saying we're having some sound issues.
I
Animals.
resist
Yeah.
the urge.
Correcting it now. And also Doug. Yeah, we have Irish weather anyway, so you guys have got like Irish weather twice over. I feel sorry for California right now because they needed water, but you don't have any way of collecting it because you were never built to sustain taking all that water. So it's a lot of it's just going to waste, and it's also destroying homes.
It's not even that they need water. Like they needed water, but this is excessive.
It is, but
Yeah, and after the burns, that's not enough plant foliage to hold it in place. They're gonna have a lot of mudslides and stuff to
Mudslides.
deal with. That's rough. Sinkholes I've seen. It's
yeah. Stay safe, everyone.
Bill Hicks has criticism with the audio.
We already addressed that. Keep up. You know, yeah,
I
I thought
will
you were
try to
pressing.
shout for you, Bill Hicks. Is that better?
No, it's already addressed now. It's
Oh,
all good in the neighborhood.
I thought he needed to hear me.
He
I'm
did.
sorry.
Everyone always needs to hear you at all times. You know, just have get yourself a loudspeaker and just be like just over anything. It won't be
I've
Really
obnoxious.
I've
megaphone
joked
everywhere you
around
go.
that my kids need to get me one of those megaphone things when I'm driving, so because I have road rage bad, and I shout at people. So I need the bullhorn thing, megaphone, so I can just like lean out the window and be like, "Move over, you fucking dickhole," and then keep going.
No way,
Back in the
man. We need to
day,
rig your whole car up so that you just have one of those CB things and it's mounted on the
yes.
top of your car so you can just use it like a little
It's not
CB
even
and it yells at everybody.
it's
And a
not even
neon
that
sign that you can
complex.
type, like speak to text and then have
You
it run a
can
little sign.
I want it
a
so
buddy of
bad.
mine in high school had a unit that it was just rigged through his car horn, and it had like a bunch of different sirens and jingles. It had a PA, and you could just speak through your car horn at people in traffic. It
That's
was bad.
awesome.
It was bad.
I did put.
Everybody in the Northeast needs one of these, though. I mean, Northeast driving is awful. People here are very aggressive.
I think you should just install lights on your car.
I don't know if
Yeah.
that's
I
legal.
did. I put a sign on my back windshield. I got one of those little like stickum things, and it says "Chill, bitch, you'll get there." But ever since I put that on my car, people have been like riding my ass even more because they think they're mad that I'm calling them a bitch with the sign on my car.
Have they tried not
Maybe
being a
they're
bitch?
trying to read it.
I have no idea, but it's like, get the fuck off of my ass. I hate people that ride my ass. Don't like it in traffic situations.
Yeah, good that
Drivers
you
think
mentioned that
that-
last bit there.
Saved it.
Don't all drivers think the other drivers are the assholes?
Yes.
Yes.
And they usually
Yeah, but
are.
I admit if I'm being an asshole driver. If I'm in a hurry and I need to cut you off and like run through the very tail end of a yellow light, almost red, like I'm gonna
And you
go.
hit a
And
pedestrian.
no, I
No.
don't hit people with
Repeatedly?
my car. Gone
Repeated.
through this.
I don't recall this ever being a moment of drama or anything like that. No. She
I
just
got hit by a car before.
Did you?
Yeah, when I was a kid riding my bike, they sped through
I
the stop
obviously
sign
wasn't
and-
going fast enough.
Oh, thank you.
Good.
I'm
Got him.
joking, Gene. I love you. I miss your face. Why is your hair so long?
Because I've
Are you
developed a
trying to have
habit.
a man bun?
Well, I developed a habit after the quarantine of not cutting my hair, so I'm just too lazy to get my hair cut.
dude,
Take
pigtails.
the beanie off. Is it like luscious?
We need you in pigtails.
Yes, I'll bring
Little-
cat ears.
Yeah, little German peasant girl pigtails.
I got a
Oh, you know
comb
what? Gene needs space buns.
Ugh.
You know, those little space bun things on each side.
Oh,
That would be
yeah.
adorable.
Leia buns and cat ears.
Yeah, I got my
I'm on it.
hair buns. Probably going to give people the opportunity to take really awkward photos.
He'll
Yeah.
be
Smooth your hair out first.
He will be
No, I'm
the
not.
best.
I'm not used to this.
Clearly.
Yeah,
Do you own
How
a
do I-
hairbrush?
yeah, it's upstairs.
Okay.
Oh, look at the
In the
front
hairbrush
out.
room.
That's so adorable.
Right? It's so luscious, Gene.
I miss
Don't
my
do
hair.
that. You're gonna break the ends. You need to get a deep conditioning mask and
I used
let it
to-
soak for 10 minutes and then comb your hair out.
Yeah, I let mine get messed up after my COVID growth and just chopped like half of it off in my bathroom.
And now my hairline's receding. I think that's another reason I'm growing it out.
Yeah,
Are you gonna have a bad comb, like a really bad like Trump comb over or something?
you should try.
He's gonna have a Cobes haircut where he's got like a lot of long in the back but nothing in the center.
I'm gonna try to get hair implants if that happens.
Just
Or I'll
go
just shave my
bald.
Connecticut
head.
just got
Yeah,
legal
just
for
go
weed, guys.
bald. Just go bald at that point. Like it's not the
Yeah,
end
you
of the
could.
world.
I want to tell everybody that Connecticut just became legal. I
Fucking
can
A.
go buy
Congratulations.
legal weed. I will
Now
not
for
hold you.
the for the first time ever, you can smoke on stream.
No, I was smoking on stream all the time. You know this. This is silly. I got all these joints. It's a
But
new
Missy,
dispensary.
but
It's like,
Missy, that would imply that you have been smoking weed illegally.
yeah, I'm
Oh
a
my
criminal.
god.
I am. I am.
Who isn't a criminal? Everyone breaks laws.
Yes. Except for you, Gene.
Yeah, the one and only perfect citizen,
Yes.
except for Mr. Rogers.
Well, we all know
I think Mr. Rogers
he
is kind of
ate
creepy.
people. He ate people. We all know it.
No,
Too pure.
he was a great man. Don't you dare.
He
was kinda
ate
creepy.
people, and he would he'd make them into like underwear and
Zodiac killer.
socks.
He was one of my only friends that wasn't a puppet. You stop.
Well,
My theory is
he was more
they're
like a
going to connect
mannequin.
all these murders to him, and they're going to find this giant conspiracy theory, and all these people that knew Mr. Rogers, like he held their family hostage, and he's actually one of the biggest killers in history.
My
Yeah.
God, Mr. Rogers is
so.
Ted Cruz. It made too much sense.
No.
All right, we're
I don't
actually
think
here. You know, we're actually
The
here
biggest
for.
killer in-
Oh well, no, second or third biggest killer, maybe. Like, but I will say this: we actually are here for a reason besides pointing out how Mr. Rogers clearly ate people, usually while they were alive. Um, I mean, gnawing right down to the bone. He became an expert at keeping them alive for as long as possible, add to the flavor. But we're actually here to talk about what we're going to be doing on the trip. And Missy, I think because we're the your trip's going to be the oddball here of us just going around New York. I think we should just do ours first. So the most obvious one is you're taking the train down, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
Are you gonna?
coming in the Grand Central.
Uh,
I'll just go to the city if that's closest to you. I don't know where you're gonna be.
that's Penn, right? That's Penn Station.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
so.
Well, you know what? That would be perfect because, for example, if you stay the night, the next day, I get to go off to Philly and you get to go back home to you, and we have to go for the same station. So I also have to get my ticket for the next day, because I'm heading out on
Okay.
the 18th to Philly. So that ties in perfectly. Um, Also, while I remember the outside of the building, I don't actually remember how to get to Philly off the top of my head when I haven't looked at Google Maps. So it'll be good that I have a mental like map in my head of getting there. Beyond that, like, what time do you think you're gonna get in at?
Probably sometime in the morning, like 10.
Okay. Um, if that's the
Because
case,
it's like a 2.5 hour, 2 hour and 45 minute train ride.
um,
I should be getting over there. I think it's like 8 in the morning. So I should be getting in like 10:30.
okay. Oh, one thing, if you are going to be spending the night there, you do have your COVID info, right? Because I got a call from the my great.
Yeah,
I
I
forgot
never
that.
take it out of my wallet. It's just you never know when you're gonna need that shit.
Yeah, exactly. Um, the hostel I'm staying at said that you're gonna have to show your COVID stuff when I'm there, and I'm like, I've got the EU one. Does that count? And the answer is yeah. So perfect. Um,
Yeah, I don't think they can tell you it doesn't count.
No, they said the CDC one or your country's equivalent, and I'm like, well, the EU one is basically the same.
Yeah.
I got my vaccine, I got my boosters, so I'm good.
Is the UK still part of the EU or
Which?
Are you
no, the
guys still
UK?
part of the
The
EU?
UK isn't a part of the EU, but the Ireland's not a part of the UK. So
Are
Oh, I thought you
you
were from
part of
Northern Ireland.
no, I'm not part. I'm not from North.
Oh,
If I did, my accent would just be the most annoying Ian Paisley sort of thing. Oh my! Have
well,
you
I
ever
thought
seen
that.
Dairy Girls? You ever seen Dairy Girls?
Would it be more annoying than Brummy accent?
I thought you liked the Brummy accent.
But I'm
Ugh.
asking you. You guys are the ones that think it's annoying.
Well, you do think it's annoying, but I
Oh,
just thought that was interesting coming from you, considering the fact you
I was
probably have a.
asking your perspective.
Ah, well. Oh no, actually, I'd take a Birmingham accent, a Birmingham accent over a Northern, especially a Derry accent, any day of the week. Derry accents are like sad, drunken Scottish accents. Northern Ireland's is just so unappealing. Um, I but yeah, no, once we're in once we're in New York, we can do whatever. Like the sky's the limit. Um,
Go skating. Ice skating.
oh yeah, Raisin wants footage of me ice skating, and
Film it.
That would be awesome.
I've
Have
never
you
done.
ever
I've
been ice?
no, never once.
Oh, you're gonna fall down.
I'm gonna fall down. You're gonna fucking film me fall down, aren't you?
I haven't skated
That
before.
would be awesome. I'm gonna love it.
Are we gonna do the Rocky Steps? Or are we gonna do like a montage?
Well, that's when we're in Philly, but we're just getting
Oh.
New York out of the way first. Although at this point, yeah, there's nothing really planned other than that, I suppose. We'll grab something to eat. We'll if you want to do something touristy, we can hop on the ferry and go to Liberty Island.
That's on you. If you want to see that, like I can see that any day of the week. Like I'm in Connecticut, so it's not like that's far from me. So I'm letting you, because I can go to the city anytime I want.
True.
I will
Um,
let you dictate. I'll just kind of tag
well,
along
it'd be
like a
nice to
little
do it
box.
with somebody. It'd be nice to do something like that with somebody. At the very least, you'd be able to hold the camera.
Yeah,
And it like you just need the ferry, right? You don't actually need to like pay them at like the gate or whatever. You just
I don't think
pose.
so.
Yeah, like if you want to go inside, it costs a bit of money, but
Yeah, if you
everyone.
want to go and do like the little like museum and all that kind of shit, I think so.
Mm,
But just to go over there, I don't think so.
yeah, I think it's pretty much sorted for that. The beyond that, like, is there anytime anyone goes to New York, like, anyone got any suggestions for like cool bars or restaurants or anything like that?
My parents and I always go to this one called Carmine's. It's like an Italian place, but they have
Ooh,
these
that's good.
huge portions, like
Okay,
huge.
Carmine's.
I know I'm getting
My
it,
mom
but
loved that place so much that she bought their cookbook so that we could make like
Carmine's
some of
Italian
their
restaurant. There's two of them, Times Square and Upper West Side.
I think we probably went to the one closer to Times Square because that's where we were around the last time.
All right.
you guys
Uh,
gonna see Broadway?
oh, we'll walk around Broadway, but I mean, you know as well as anyone that the prices of the tickets are outrageous. They're not
Probably
worth
would
it.
have bought everyone Broadway tickets if you guys were willing to go.
Hey, Galen.
Well, are you actually going to be coming up to New York though? That's the thing. It's no real point to.
Nah, you've haven't informed me too late. Told me earlier I could probably plan everything.
Fair enough. Um, I'm always down to. I'd be down to like seeing some. I'll tell you actually, Missy, one thing I'd love to do. I'd love to go to a comedy night. If you are going to be
Yeah.
spending the night, because like there's something like 10 or so in at the door. It'd be kind of cool
Comedy
to.
Central. That's a really good stand-up place in New York. I went there last time I was in New York.
Oh yeah. Is it actually like the Comedy Central like network has anything to do with it, or is it
I
just
think
called
it's
Comedy?
related. It's the same logo, and I think Comedy Central used some of the stand-ups there for like some of their shows, but
Probably like where they test run specials and stuff. 'Cause you know how they used to do those
Yeah.
like comedy hours, where some like comedian would get like an hour-long special, but it was only on Comedy Central. That's probably where they like test run their comic or their
Could be.
comedian.
That makes
Yeah.
a lot of sense.
Kind of like how in LA they have like the Laugh Factory or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah, I know the Laugh Factory. Well, I know of the Laugh Factory.
I think it's like the same thing, kind of, but New York side. We could always check out what kind of crazy fucking broads they got going on at midday in a strip club. Just to
If you
see.
want to go to a strip club, absolutely.
Just to see.
What would the nearest strip club I'd know in New York wasn't even New York. That was in New Jersey. The something Rhino. I remember that's what it was called. I forget the first part of it. The second part was the.
Blue Rhino is the type of propane.
Hang on. Let's go there.
But if you want something to laugh at in New York, go to the Fine Art Museum. Like, entire room just full of blank canvases.
What you could actually for this one, I'm not gonna, for obvious reasons, I'm not gonna check up on screen. I'll get my phone and check that up for the strip clubs.
That's the thing. Like some of the I'm wary of telling people exactly where we're gonna go. It like we're going here, here, here,
Well,
here.
here's the here's the beauty of that is like I wouldn't if we're gonna go to a comedy night, I'm not gonna say where we're going exactly, and if we go to like a if we go to like a strip club, I'm not gonna say which strip club we're going to.
Yeah, just because I can
yeah, that could cause some problems.
Two Guns gonna bring his guns.
Every single one of them.
You better.
I can bring all guns I got. I got a whole trailer loaded up.
He's not gonna bring any ammo.
Well, yeah, I don't have any ammo. We established that.
Yeah, that's been established.
You can
for a
still
while.
beat someone to death with them.
They're really, really good cudgels.
They're really good.
Get ones with a good solid wooden stock and just sort of bludgeon them. You know?
Speaking of, where's that thing? Did I ever show you guys what I found in my kid's room? I don't know where I put it. Over there.
Was it the murder weapon in the recent
It
Ohio
is.
case?
It's a stick
Okay.
with like all this shit drilled into it. But I don't know where I put it.
Hey, everybody in chat. Chat's looking kind of nice tonight. Is everybody
Hi,
going and
chat.
talking?
Now you can't see it on screen, but we have a stream goal. Anything given right before the trip would be very much appreciated. Not required, just very much appreciated. Link in the doobly-doo down there for Streamlabs. And don't forget that if you can, help the channel grow and by like, sharing, and subscribing, and checking out Twitter and Discord and Twitch. And I also have that wish list now, so you guys get to see what this year I'm going to be spending the vast majority of my money on after these trips. Because after this trip, I've got... Yep, you can get it as low as 20 if you want.
Hang on. Something's going off in my house. I don't know what that is. It sounds like a fire alarm.
Somebody made a
Did you
mess.
share the contraband that you found in your kid's room yet?
I can find that too as soon as I find my fucking Discord so that I can mute them.
There we go. Ah, the joys of motherhood.
Bludgeoning and fires.
The kid set it off because he doesn't want her to show what she found.
Oh, damn. The kill switch. You know, we've trained for this. All right.
Is Galen and Gage and Mingo, are they coming?
Hey, anyone in the chat right now?
Mingo?
Mingo?
Mingo.
Mango.
Who's Mingo?
Oh, you guys don't.
Shit.
Mingo. Sounds like a
I thought you
racist
said
caricature
Mingo.
from a 1950s comic. You know, watch out! It's Mingo, the merciless.
I sort of like it sound like He said Mingo.
He said it. He did say Mingo.
My weed smoke set the fire alarm.
It was you.
Nice.
And you're now legal devil's
It was
lettuce.
celebrating.
I found it.
Oh, you showed this. That weird thing that you found.
It's like Lucy instead of Lucille because it's a blank. What is
Did
it?
he make
Lock?
that himself?
Yeah, I found it in his room.
You should display that in the Fine Art Museum in New York.
Hell yeah. But yeah, no. If anyone's on the
My bed now.
Anyone's on the East Coast wants to join us, I'll be there from the 16th to the 20th. Philly on the 18th. So
it's only people on the East Coast that can come.
Well, they can come as far as they want, but they just have to.
If he can come from Ireland, they can manage.
Yeah.
You hear that, Red Eye? Get on the fucking plane now.
That is kind of the other side of the world.
That's silly.
Oh shit! I made a promise to Shabisky this morning because he was so angry at me for not showing up on time for yesterday that he basically just said like he has to go and I have to go and play something to one of his videos. Let me just bring it up.
You have to watch Sabisky?
I know, right?
Is it the greatest music video of all time?
It's a music video, for sure.
I hope it is.
Let's see.
I hope it's my favorite one.
This is the one he wants.
I love the one that he's sad.
Oh, the emo cringe one.
Cry all the time, 'cause I cry all the time.
Doggies! There ain't no other. I'm coming for you, brother. You'll be peeing your own pants while you're running for cover. You need a seat. I got a chair for you. I folded up.
Like,
'Cause I've come to clobber you, honest red. You're just a freaking hack. My team's been making fat stacks while you're jumping over facts. Yeah, that's a fact. And Diesel, you're all jacked. But how's it gonna help when I power bomb you on some tax? If you had a chance, I bet you kiss Goku. I'll smash you on a table, make you go right through. Now I tag in my teammate, tell him what you're gonna do.
Yeah, team, we so mean. We be taking over, we be getting all the green.
Yeah, we so mean, but we the winning team. When we show up, yeah, bet all the bitches cream. Yeah, we the winning team.
We make all the bitches scream.
Spalooja.
Yeah, you never stood a motherfucking chance. I've been working on the floor with this dumb hoe dance. Something you can, yeah, I put them in a trance advance. Then me and Lou gonna do an 8 whip flash. Gonna kick ass so fast, then you gonna see that. The lamest team on the motherfucking side. They ain't keeping up with me, no, not with I. Been working on the plan till I reach the sky. And me and my team gon' pass them by. Yeah, they ain't never lived that life.
Well, Quib, if you can reach out to him, tell him I'm a man of my word.
Honest Red, you can fucking live that lie. But honestly, you just really ain't that guy. No, you ain't that guy.
I didn't know it was a slur to call you a fucking asshole.
Trubisky's not invited.
If I did,
Okay, he
I
smells.
would have just called you a fucking asshole. Did you hear Shabisky's rhyme? That shit was a mouthful. Big Diesel, please put down the motherfucking needle. Honest Red, your fucking lies are so fucking see-through. Dr. Piss, your name makes me wanna fucking pee, dude. And just, bro, you really make me wanna vomit. Can't find love? Ain't no feet boy gonna write you a sonnet.
Yeah, team, we so mean. We be taking over, we be getting all the green.
Yeah, we so mean,
Mexican wrestler dude though.
Star Spangled Luchador.
Luchador.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. He's a Mexican wrestler dude.
I
Want me to
watched
remember
like the
all of
first.
that? That's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of lore already with the actual Mania, and it's. I feel like I'm left in the dust because I stopped donating to get into like the Patreon a while back. So all this crazy new lore happens, and I'm just kind of there like, oh, okay, I'm sure that was fun.
I don't know either because
Yeah.
I don't get the premise of it. I've only watched like 3 of them in like total in their entirety. I've caught like because I paid to like watch the shit. Um, but I don't actually ever go in there because I'm usually at work when it's happening. So I've only caught a couple of them like live and watched it the whole way through, and I don't understand what's I don't get what's going on. I'm just happy to participate.
I find them. I mean, I also have. You know, I did keep tabs on it for like the first year or so, and then kind of fell off with DP in general. I mean, I still tune in now and then, but um, so I get it, and I did watch the most recent one because Jabisky was in it.
Yeah, I try to make sure I watch those ones
Yeah,
like over.
and whenever I do watch, I pretty much only watch it live so that I can vote. And I find it fun, even though I don't necessarily recognize every air quotes contestant, or I know enough about DP in general that you know.
Oh shit! Hold on. It's got a dono.
Cheers. Dab time.
Thank you, Troy, for the $5. Dab time indeed. Appreciate it. All that money goes to good things. Good things. I'll definitely appreciate it when I'm actually out there. Here's the thing.
There we go.
Welcome back, you big butt, you butt.
I don't know what's wrong with my Discord.
It's because it's a butt Discord. You're not meant to use your butt to do Discord. But
You guys talking about not watching Shab?
yeah, we have to make sure that it's important that Chab doesn't get watches because he's not the greatest, despite what some people like himself might claim.
Plays too much GTA and Fortnite.
So much GTA.
To add more variety.
Yeah, he needs to play. Let's get him to play a game of Stellaris and see how that works out.
I used to play GTA when I was like senior in high school, so like just coming out of being a senior, and all I ever did was drive around and beat people and fuck hookers in bushes, and
Then
then the
kill
cops
them
would come
and
after me,
take their money.
and then I would just start over and then drive around and kill people, and the cops would come after me and I'd start over. I never realized that like there was missions to do.
You thought that little
If there's
radar.
missions in GTA?
Beat up people until they died, and then you tried to run away from the cops.
Yeah, no, there was like a whole story, like several stories.
I didn't know that. I just thought you guys.
Yeah,
people.
well.
I mean, technically, that's what people
Go back
play.
and do it again.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
I just thought I was really bad at it because I kept getting caught by the cops.
And now all games allow you to go around and kill everybody.
I've only beaten like 2 video games in my entire life, and one was Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Nice.
On the Sega Genesis.
Wow,
I had
you're
that.
old.
I had that.
And the other one was Gauntlet Legends on the GameCube. That was my shit. I'm not very good at video games.
I was like 5 when I had the GameCube.
I never got the GameCube. My tastes went elsewhere.
It has a handle on it. Yeah,
I'm
but
like
you're
an elder. I'm an elder millennial.
Yeah, I'm almost a Zoomer. I'm 1 year off from being a Zoomer.
Consider yourselves lucky.
You're a Zoomer in spirit.
I want to see you now with the sort of Jufro, the little tiny coiffed Jufro that looks like ramen noodles, and I want you to say the words for real, or bussin'. Bussin' for real.
I'm gonna be near two guns, because if it's me, that's cultural appropriation. I get canceled.
Well,
you don't fuck the bushes, Gage. You fuck the hookers in the bushes.
you could do both.
I don't think
Yeah.
you can fuck a bush.
Get
You,
like crab noodles that
could
way.
fucking easily fuck a bush.
Walking through it.
You can do a lot of things with a bush,
Yeah.
You like hump at it.
especially what's under it.
I don't know if you can hump the bush into
And if
your
it's
head.
were you not? Do you not know that the 70s existed, madam? Bush played a vital role.
Missy. Look, the beautiful thing about GTA is that
Beautiful thing.
all
about
your
Bush.
wildest
people.
dreams can come true, especially if they involve assault of
And
various
bushes.
Oh God.
Especially if you like, especially if you just want to suspend your ethics for a while.
That's
I
what
like
thought the
playing
game was.
games.
Let you get your anger out. Just kill people.
I like playing games where you can use diplomacy to solve problems. So I can be all sanctimonious. Be
Wow.
like I'm above all this killing.
Of course you do.
Well,
course.
I'm going to use diplomacy to move this night along to the Philadelphia part of the trip, because we have to address that.
No.
Yes, because that
Don't
means
come here. We'll break your knees.
Sir, I have walked those mean streets before, and I'll tell you now that they're really ugly. Your city is very ugly. It is a very ugly city.
Yeah.
Oh,
Listen,
yeah.
I don't live there. All right.
Hey. You have never seen Bridgeport.
I have not. So describe Bridgeport to me.
It's ugly.
Where's South Street?
It's ugly. You know, like ugly city streets. This is worse, cause Bridgeport.
Hold
I don't
on.
know how to
Mine's worse.
I don't know how to explain to you what dirty ghetto looks like.
I've lived in dirty ghetto, so all you have to. I have been to
Dirty
Bayonne.
ghetto.
Okay,
Higher
I've been to
Looks
fucking
ghetto
Bayonne.
and it looks dirty.
Oh
The
yeah,
entire city is dirty inner city ghetto.
dude, this would be
And it
so
smells.
cool to take pictures in, though.
Aesthetically, maybe, yeah, but nobody wants to go. Like, you drive past Bridgeport and you just don't look at it.
What do you think of Baltimore's aesthetics?
Potholes, isn't
has
it? Big city of
history.
potholes.
Yes, it
I
does.
like the Inner Harbor.
What's that?
I really like the Inner Harbor.
Yeah. Well, there are parts of Baltimore that look pretty quaint.
That are
and
safe.
It's like Philadelphia or Boston. You know, like it might have its little nooks and crannies that aren't the greatest looking, but it has history that goes back to when it started becoming America. So it's got those cool parts to it as well.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
recognize the name from like Civil War documentaries and shit like that.
I like Fort McHenry, and they're like Francis Scott Key. He wrote the national anthem there. It's in Baltimore. He claimed that at the end of the battle, like when all the British ships were sailing away, he was on the debris of the ship, and he looked up, and that's when it came to him.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's
'Cause
fabricated?
the flag was still waving. How patriotic.
It's such a un-American song. You guys need a new national anthem. It does not.
It's also not a.
represent-
It's also not like well written for the purpose. It's difficult to sing for lay people.
Yeah,
And,
it is.
You can hum
Yeah,
it.
but then if you can
but-
sing it, you can look down at other people who can't sing it.
And a lot of people try and think they're great, and a lot of people listening to them think they're great and don't realize that it's shit.
What if you use autotune?
Then there's also a section of people who actually are great, but when you're doing it in a stadium and the echo back comes at you and you understand what that's really like, it fucks you all up.
Yeah.
I remember Roseanne sang the national anthem
It's just about
and got like
that.
I don't know how people do that solo. With a choir, it's easy because you have the choir right there with you that you can like just tune into that and ignore the echo back as best as you can. But I don't think I would be able to do that solo.
Missy, I have Bridgeport up here on Google, and one of the first thing down for like the autofilm, it's Bridgeport, Connecticut, crime. So,
now you know.
That's like every U.S. city.
Now you know.
Is that your algorithm? Do you look up the crime in cities often?
no, actually,
Oh,
I
I
don't.
mean-
Which means that it's
Dang.
such it's just automatically pushed to the top. Okay. Okay. Let's do the obvious thing and talk about the Philadelphia Museum of Art, the steps, the Rocky Steps and shit. I passed by it. I was on the was it the 76th? Just over there on the other side of the river. I've seen it from far away, and people will point at it and go, "There's the Rocky Steps." And I'd be like, cool, maybe I'll go there later on. I said over a decade and change ago now. I'll get on that any day now. Well, it looks like
Look, you haven't broken that. You know, if that were a promise, you hadn't broken it yet. So, you know.
Any
You
day
guys
now.
gonna run up and down the steps?
Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to even pretend otherwise. I'm going to start running, looking like I'm running, and then I'm going to edit it out until me at the top, and I'm going like, yay!
About whichever one of us is able to run up and down the steps like 5 times.
5 times. Fuck that.
Yeah, we pay
I'm
them
gonna see
$100.
Rocky did 5
Fuck that. Listen,
No.
I'll go straight up once. I will not do laps.
Right, you mother. I'll be on my. It's my fucking birthday. You want me to fucking do that shit? No. I am going to fucking get
good for
winched
you.
out of there by a helicopter. Okay, when it's time I go, someone brings in a fucking crane and it lifts me up like a fucking claw game, and I get taken off to my next location. But yeah, we're gonna do this because it's the one thing in Philly people think of besides cheesesteaks, and then we're gonna go and justify walking up those steps by having cheesesteaks. I suppose we'll also go inside the building itself. I guess art. Ooh.
The Liberty Bell.
Saw that. It's not all that great. It has a big crack in it. What the fuck? That's some that's some shoddy workmanship right there, man. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I saw it when I was in elementary school because they did a field trip to Philadelphia.
They did one in my school too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't elementary school, it was middle school. And it was the first overnight field trip. And the whole town always talked about it because it was like a rite of passage. Once you got to the 8th grade, you got to go on the Washington, D.C. trip.
Whoa.
And you stopped over in Philly and got to see all like that cool shit on your way down to D.C.
Is that a plug?
Sorry,
Mine too.
Yeah, Liberty Bell is a day trip for us. So like every kid went to the Liberty Bell. We all went to Washington's Crossing is easier for me to get to than the Liberty Bell.
They have a giant plug at this place. Just sticking out in the front. It's very
Probably some sort of art something.
well, it is an art museum, so I'd assume it would be some sort of art. I like the sort of pseudo Babylonian sort of steps they got going on inside the building. Although I don't know why there's a naked man made out of gold right then and
know.
there.
It's art.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's art.
Is it if it was made out of silver, would it also be art?
What is an art?
What is art but a collection of lies? Wait, that's something else. I, yeah, I've always wanted to see inside it, and I've always wanted to do the steps, so we got to do that. But where should we go to shovel food into our maw? Raisin, where would be a good place? Where is a place you would recommend inside Philly?
Depends on where we end up, because Philly's a big place. If we're doing something like just sticking in Center City, that's a lot of touristy stuff. I'm gonna take a look around. There's also touristy stuff. A lot of the touristy stuff that's eating, especially the big cheesesteak places that everybody talks about on the news or whatever, they're over on South Street near Penn's Landing. That's about like a 15-minute ride from
Guys,
the train station.
Should do the Victor Cafe.
What's that?
I don't know what that is.
They sang opera to you.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
That sounds
The waiters.
terrible.
Yeah, that.
Oh. I went
Sounds
there.
terrible.
This sounds like totally everyone's fucking.
I would actually dig that, but I wouldn't expect it to be everyone's cup of tea for sure.
I mean, I would go.
How drunk? Yeah, I'd have to be kind of a little
But
drunk.
you'd have to get me drunk first.
Yeah.
Then I'll go with you.
No, they have a bell, and when they ring the bell, you're supposed to stop talking, and then they'll sing a song, and each one of the waiters sings a song.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you have to is that part of the application process? You have to
I'm sure.
sing a tune.
Listen, do you know how many unsuccessful vocal majors there are out there? Almost as many as actors and actresses. Okay.
True.
I promise.
There's a lot of broken dreams out there just bringing you.
When I was in Philly last, I walked along the waterfront. So I think if I could, I wouldn't mind walking around down there. And there seems to be plenty of places to eat and drink. So, but all I remember about it was that there was a dance studio near the water, and it was pretty late in the evening. My friend and I were walking down a place, and it was it was pitch dark all around, but then there's this blaring light. And all these young women in like leotards, all kind of doing ballet, and we just went inside and lied and said we were a part of a film crew, and we just filmed them for a little bit, and then we left.
That's terrible.
Very terrible. But we didn't even do
probably
it with the
all
footage.
Over for that footage, they probably went home we're gonna the news, and you just broke their little hearts.
Yeah, kinda.
You're a terrible person.
I don't even know. It was just something to do. I think we deleted the footage afterwards because we thought it was a little bit pervy. We didn't even realize that.
What about the Philadelphia Zoo? It's the first ever zoo in America.
Oh my God, have you ever been to the Philly Zoo?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Cold?
Yes, I do.
Oh my God, yes, it will be cold.
Yeah, that's a big issue there. But also, I have been to the zoo. It's the first time I ever saw a buffalo and a prairie dog.
Really?
Yeah, we don't have either very often over here, considering Ireland. But
what are animals that you guys have in Ireland that we don't have anywhere else?
I want to hug a Highland cow.
Yeah.
Ooh, the fluffy ones.
And
They look like teddy bears.
the Irish wolfhound, of course, but that's less a zoo animal.
Yes, I love them.
They're so huge. One of those pups will go for a fortune. They are so expensive. Yep, like a purebred one.
That's a good dog. That's a real dog. That's a good big dog.
Dog. There's a dog.
Yes.
There's a dog right there.
No little ankle biter that might as well be a cat. That's a real dog.
Ain't no yippee fucking rat. Goddamn dog.
Right.
There's a dog.
What?
Yeah, and your dog. The big dog.
So here's a weird question for moving around Philly, especially.
Doggo.
I imagine a bunch of us, or at least a handful of us, are driving in. Where are we meeting When are
Why
we meeting?
if we're all going to be having a drink, why don't you guys just take the subway or the bus? Wouldn't that make more
Into
sense?
Philly?
Well, I don't know, into Philly. I suppose you're going to need a place to actually park, but
That's, I mean, a lot of things like that. The most affordable way to park for that kind of a thing is to pick a kind of landing spot and a parking garage and just park there and pay for the day. It's usually like $20.
Yeah.
all right.
Well, I think specifics could be dealt with privately, but
Fair enough. But like
yeah.
that's the general idea. I think
Mm.
meet somewhere, parking garage or parking lot. There are a million fucking
Yeah, where is
Hey.
not something I want to tackle live, but having an
Yeah.
idea of like that is a thing in Philly is meeting is something we'll want to tackle, and like then those of us that are parking will figure out the logistics of where we choose to park, I would assume. But if we're gonna travel around in a particular vehicle too, like I have a van, so I mean, if that's something we're gonna do, I'm open to having discussions about that too.
Yeah, I'll basically just follow you guys. So obviously I don't drive and I won't have a car, so I guess I'll just hop into whoever has like a free seat.
Yeah, I can't drive either.
Really?
Yeah, they don't.
Oh yeah, your seizures. I didn't that.
Yeah,
The
they
Irish-
don't- Isn't that ableism?
It's not
No,
How
no,
do you
no,
keep everybody else safe plus you?
I only
Yeah.
had one accident having a seizure.
my roommate has his license, but he can't drive because of no insurance company would take him because he's epileptic. So it makes sense. Like if he were to have a problem on the road,
Yeah.
well, yeah, he's kind of fucked.
To be
Um,
fair, I don't ever want to drive again because I did have a seizure and totaled the car, and I woke up in the hospital. I hit my head on the steering wheel, and there was a lot of blood. Apparently, head wounds, you bleed a lot, and it was just a little cut, but I like woke up, and because it's like a temporal lobe seizure, my speech was all garbled. And in my perspective, it seemed like I was speaking coherently, but I could also hear myself, like the words just being jumbled. And then all the medical staff were surrounding me, like asking questions, and I passed out and woke up again. And as that happened, I thought, like, is my skull fractured? Am I not going to be able to speak again? Do I have like TBI or something? And yeah, pretty
That's kind of
terrifying.
mm.
And they had to cut through my seatbelt, so I woke up naked on the hospital bed as well.
Poor Gene.
At least you woke up. Like, that's a dangerous thing. That could have killed you and anybody else who was near you on the road. So, yeah, no, I don't blame you for not wanting to do that again.
Yeah. Most important thing is you woke up.
Yeah.
Let's just say. And not
I bit through my tongue, so I have like a lump on my tongue, and I got a scar from it.
I got a bar through my tongue now.
Yeah, we saw that.
I missed that shit. Do you like it? Awesome.
I used to have it back like 2010. I had it for
God.
2 years, but I kept unscrewing the ball in my sleep and swallowing it. And I ended up going through like 15 tongue rings, and I was like, fuck this,
Jesus.
I'm done. So I took it out, and then my kid was getting his angel bites pierced because he has these ones, so he's getting these ones because now he has like all four right here. And I was explaining to the guy like I used to have it done, I'd like to have it done again, and he was like, "Let me see your tongue," and he like poked around, and I still had half a hole. So he just boop.
Oh wow.
Half a hole.
I had half a hole.
See, that's why I'm afraid. Like, I never went and got it redone because I'm pretty sure mine is solidly closed, and I'm afraid of how much it would hurt.
No.
I heard that if they punch through the scar tissue, though, then it does hurt. See, it didn't bother me the first time. Like, it legit didn't bother me. It didn't swell. You seem to be the same way.
It didn't even swell the first time. Like,
yeah, me either. So I was like,
it swelled the first time, but it didn't swell this time. Is what I mean. Like,
okay, see, I didn't swell the first time, so. But if it's like punching through scar tissue, that sounds terrifying.
No, this was. I mean, like it. Don't get me wrong. Like you remember how it hurt the first time. Like it.
I felt pressure and it didn't feel good. It
Right.
was like a hard biting down on your tongue, and then like
Yeah.
once the pop happened, it was just over, and she screwed it on.
Yeah. That's basically it.
My
Like,
girl got her belly button pierced the same day, and she looked like she was gonna pass out. I don't think it hurts that as bad as a belly button piercing.
No, not at all. Like I drooled a little bit on him, but I have like a really short tongue, so like my
Well,
mouth
yeah,
was
they get you with
really
them
wide
tongs
open.
though to pull it out. So yeah, you're gonna drool. The tongs were more
Ah.
A
annoying
little
than
bit,
the
but like
puncture.
that was basically it. And then he popped this in, and even the first and second day, I was taking maybe like 2, 3 Tylenol every couple of hours, and I was fine. You wouldn't even know I just got my tongue pierced, except for when I say th sounds. That
Yeah, like
like
mine
I
was
can
backfire. You
still
like couldn't tell it all. Like nobody could tell unless I met or
yeah.
we were,
That's how
close.
tiny my tongue is that like it met with it being swollen and the bar there, the th sounds were just like difficult the first like 4 days. But now it's been like a week now. And I don't think I don't think anyone can tell.
Do you think I should get any piercings?
Why not?
I
Do
don't
you
know.
want one? I mean, that'd be the more important question.
Maybe a tattoo or something.
All right,
Well,
tattoo
that's
pain and piercing pain are two very different things.
yeah.
Uh,
Just gonna let you
I'm
know that.
very tolerant to pain.
If you can do it, go for it. I sat for 5 hours with my sleeve and I was shaking by the end of it, like done. 5 hours is my limit. I hit that and I'm good.
Ooh.
But some people can go 8, 9 hours. It's just a much different pain than the sharp, quick pop of a piercing. So it just kind of depends on what kind of pain you feel like dealing with at the moment.
I'm used to having like needles put in me and everything.
I think I could probably see you with an eyebrow ring.
Yeah, I could see that, or some studs, like a few studs over
Right.
his. Yeah.
I think that would be a piercing that would compliment you and is one that I could see you rocking.
What about getting like one of those holes in the side of my mouth?
You mean the gauged up cheeks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
How
you
would
want
that go over at work?
yeah.
Yeah. You'd have to consider that.
I don't know if it's
Yeah.
very professional to have your jawbone showing at all times.
Should get
You
those
know, when I
rings,
go
like
to the office, I always have to put my hair in a ponytail.
Yeah.
what you should do is
You
you
don't
should
like it.
get those the flesh corset where they put the rings onto your back. They will wave in these metal rings and they get they get the ribbon and weave it in. So when you flex your back, it looks like you're in a corset. I think that would look great on you, man.
Oh yeah.
It's
That
like a
that would be
Cenobite
hot.
kind of thing.
Kind of is. I met a girl who had hers, and she said it's a great way of keeping you at a weight that you want to be in. Because if you gain and lose any weight, they're just gonna get too loose or get too tight. So and the whole thing will be ruined.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's great
That
sort
we
of
can
like
solve America's obesity epidemic that way.
No, I
Forcing
just
everyone to
think you're
have
gonna
them.
end up with a lot of bitches with ripped skin.
Mm.
That's all that's
yep.
gonna happen.
Oh, it's
They'll
probably
learn their
it's
lesson.
yeah, it's probably made them like saggy as fuck. Saggy back skin. Yeah, that sounds fun.
Speaking of saggy skin, have y'all been seeing the new Shani and Rev live streams on
God.
Twitch that they've been doing?
I have
The
not.
reason I don't like watching them at all is because I think they're like like literally gross. Like when it comes to their appearance and the moles and everything, it makes me
It's
fucking
gotten worse.
sick.
It's just gotten worse.
Oh,
Oh,
they're
It's gotten
yucky.
so
doesn't she
much
claim to
worse.
have cancer now? I saw that somewhere.
Yes,
That yeah.
because she has some sort of rash underneath her boob, but it's just because she doesn't bathe
I was
for like
gonna say
weeks on end.
that's just like bacteria.
Right. And you
And
can
there
see her sitting there in front of the camera, and you can see that she's not wearing a bra because whatever she's wearing, it will show the outline of like her stomach, and then it'll show her boobs hanging like down here.
wait, is it her
That's
boob
hot.
or is it one of her like fat folds?
No, you can see it's boobs. They're like
Uh,
on top of her
Stop it! I'm
stomach.
getting so turned on right now. Oh,
It's like boobs like this,
How is
but
she
like my
not
hands
like?
are her nipples. Like,
How's like
yeah.
Rev still alive? Like, how's she not like rolled over
Peanut
and
butter.
like murdered him?
peanut butter.
I love that was just like no context. She just said that randomly. Peanut butter.
There's context. It's
Alright.
peanut. So, Shani obviously eats all the food. She's not losing any weight. She's just as big as she's always been.
Yep.
And Rev is just getting smaller and smaller, but he's still alive, right? So when they get their food stamps, or even when like the boys were still there, because thank God they're in foster care now, but when even at that point, he was getting these big jars of peanut butter because Shani she hates it, like hates peanut butter, and the boys were allergic to it. So it was literally the only thing that he could have for himself.
She
Oh
won't share.
shit! I
She doesn't
saw
like it.
that that stream where Rev was like putting his fingers to his head and pulling like the trigger, like he clearly wants to commit suicide or just
Oh yeah,
walk into the
he's
sea.
to get out of that situation. She is going to drive him to do something
To eat
drastic.
him.
I really think so. Like he needs to get away from her.
I think one day he's just gonna wake up and she'll be dead. She'll just had a heart attack during the night and
No, I don't think so. I think he's gonna leave her first. I think he's gonna wake up and finally go with G-Man and say enough is enough. I can't do this.
but
At least
just
that's
think
what I'm
of
hoping.
He's
hold on,
gonna
think of
like.
all the other opportunities he's had up to now and he hasn't taken
I
it.
don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking it'd be more likely that she would leave him if she found a better source.
Yeah.
You really think anything's gonna be a better source? Like you really think?
Dude, he'd probably make money if he left her and went on YouTube and was like, "Yeah, I'm done with her and everything," and he'd
For a
probably
little
get people
bit.
coming and
He'd
yeah.
make a little money for a little bit, but he couldn't live off that forever. He'd have to
Yeah.
start doing his own thing after a while. But
G-Man said he would support him if he left. He was like, "Come over
yeah,
here, I got
but
you."
G-Man's G-Man, so
I know.
like
So
yeah.
Have you ever
take
at,
it with a grain of salt, but
have you ever asked to have G-Man on your stream?
I talked to Krendar about it, and he just gave me a long look and then said no.
Oh my god, I'd like to have him on my stream. I don't know.
I want to talk to this motherfucker, but like I've lost my passion because he started to shut his mouth about the things that I needed to talk to him about. So I was all right.
What,
yeah.
G-Man?
Yes, like, but he's having some anger issues, and he was doing some things that I thought maybe if he had help with his anger issues, he would stop. But
Well, I don't want to have serious conversations with him. I just.
well, you should at least try. He's not going to let it last. Clearly, he doesn't want that.
yeah, he won't come on just to be trolled. Like you have to
bribe him.
actually not
He
bribe
doesn't
him,
respond to anything reasonable unless it supports whatever cockamamie point he's trying to make.
right.
Yeah.
You have to appeal to his ego, or
Be in line with his confirmation bias.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't. I don't think I'd have him on simply because he's transphobic, and I mean like aggressively transphobic. So I think on principle, I just wouldn't have him on. He's a scumbag. He's a laughable scumbag, but it's a scumbag all the same. And just because he's like calling out other scumbags, so what? Every person I dislike online has beef with someone else I dislike online. So that's not what you're gonna do. Like between his ridiculous religious views that borderline on the insane by every other religious person, let alone someone like me who is not religious.
That's what I want to talk to about, though. I want to try and have a teachable moment with like the transphobia and the rabid myth direction with the way he takes his religion, and just kind of make suggestions and try and give him an ear for his, like, listen to his crazy and then show him some things that maybe he could agree with that are less
People
hateful.
have been
because
I would
listening
just
to
pretend.
his. Go on.
That's why I want to meet him offline. Like, I legit want to meet him in person for a cup of coffee and
He
just
is
have a
in New York.
conversation in public where there's no cameras, no reason to be crazy, just two people having a conversation about things that they don't necessarily agree on, but agree to have a conversation about it.
He is in New York. That's all I'm saying.
I would just pretend to agree with him and stuff, and then make a bunch of like stupid arguments that will probably might not register that I'm
Not
not being
productive.
serious.
That's what he does.
I don't think he does that.
Yeah, he does. That's kind of his whole thing. I mean, there's no starving children in Africa.
Yeah,
no
but
slaves
he's
were,
serious about
no
it.
Christians were slaves. Like, but so what if he's serious about it? He won't be able to tell the difference or care about.
I just think it would be funny.
Well, of course it'd be funny.
That's what I want to find
Well,
out.
that's
too.
the
Part
only
of my
reason I
brain
wanna
can't
do
let
it.
go of that he's a troll on some level. Like, some things he seems to intentionally avoid the truth on because he doesn't want to hear it. He'd rather have the spectacle for the views.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not gonna
actually
try to
probably
change
what.
his mind.
I want to know who he really is.
Good luck.
I think he's exactly what he says on the tin. Only
I need to see it
he
for
buckled-
myself. I can't believe this human being is real. It doesn't compute.
There are 8 billion people on this planet, and that number is growing. There are so many combinations that, especially when you think about all the other crazy people out there, he's actually kind of mild these days compared to some of the other ones.
True.
Be a gateway nutter. See what I'm saying? If I can pick that lock, then that's my gateway nutter.
Gateway nutter.
Wait, are you aspiring to become a
that
nutter?
sounds, yeah.
No,
that's-
I just want to understand how they think and try and circumvent the crazy where I can.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I think it's.
That's a lost cause. Yeah.
Do you have a
Yeah.
Goals.
license
I
for
have
that?
goals, y'all.
commendable. It's commendable, but I don't
Yeah, it's a
think...
noble goal
I
that's
think-
Yeah,
doomed to.
like, I respect you for trying, baby.
Yeah.
But
That
I don't
one's close enough. He has streamed from a place I can drive to in 20 minutes. I mean, come on. Like, I can take this one out for a cup of coffee. I will pay
could.
for it.
He might. If you're close enough like that, he might.
He'll probably
That's
think
what I'm
you're just-
saying. I have emailed this dude. I'm serious. I'm
You just
serious.
gotta show up to a place where you know he is. Because I've emailed him a bunch of times too, and he never responds.
Either that or next time he streams from that place, I just go up and park and walk up and be like, yo, coffee?
Nah, he does think that he gets gang stalked, so maybe that would just feed into his paranoia.
Either that, yeah, you might be right. I might be the next bear that everybody makes fun of when I
No,
walk up.
I
behind
think
him.
the fact that Raisin is a girl has that works to her advantage.
Yeah, he'll probably
Yeah, he
think
has
that
no
you're
reason to
hitting.
be afraid of me.
He'll think that you're hitting on him, basically.
Well, I mean, we'll deal with that as it comes. But
It'll come
just
pretty
wanna-
fucking
it
quickly, let
encourages
me
him
tell
to have
ya.
a conversation.
If you know where he lives, why don't you just go to his house and knock on his door?
That's just
Yeah.
rude. I'd rather him agree to meet me somewhere.
I'd actually start going even more abstract. Find his brother. His brother seems to be more based in reality, and ask him about there. Start with that. That way you're less likely to have a moment with him, and you'll get a little bit more better insight on what to prepare for.
Seen crazier. He can have his moment, and then he can see that it doesn't bother me.
You got to work your way up the crazy rungs.
I don't know. That was that made us ponder, like, who else could we had we had enough time to put the feelers out? Who else could we have done? Howard Clark III. He's out in Pennsylvania. We could have gotten out to see him. He could have told us about his amazing kung fu and the
Who's
kung
that?
fu. That he's a lolcow from DP. He got obsessed over an Argentine Instagram model. She was a teenager. She said no, and then when he got his COVID stimulus, he tried to fly down and basically make her love him, and she kind of just she got the Argentine government to block him. He obsessed over a nurse who said hi to him once, and made massive videos about him.
Was that that James dude that Hatman covers?
Sounds like he's got what that like John Hinckley had, where he thought Jodie Foster was sending him messages.
Yeah, it's called being crazy.
What's that called?
It's just called
Social relationships or whatever.
All crazy syndromes are crazy syndromes, but you know there's a name for that crazy disorder.
I don't know. Like he was at one point he was in like a mental institute and shit like that. Now he just you know what? Fuck it. I'll show you guys one of his kung fu videos. Howard Clark III. It's the.
See the crazy dude that looks like he's about to have a heart attack out in his driveway or whatever? No, okay, that's not him.
If this isn't the same person that I think it is, there's another dude that does the same exact shit.
That makes the nurses want to have sex with.
No, not Origin.
No, never that dude. No,
right.
That dude doesn't want help. No.
No. The karate that all the nurses want to have sex with, part 2.
Now, if you're
Now I'm gonna go and put it on screen for everyone so they can't see your faces,
Oh, yeah,
but
the same guy.
serious about practicing the karate that all the nurses want to have sex with, you might be wondering, how can I kick without stretching first? I haven't stretched yet, right? Okay, so how do I do that? If you're serious about practicing,
he's a man of tremendous talent,
martial art or grappling martial art, you might be surprised stretching and actually.
it's like I just noticed his lower jaw, like his everything like below his upper lip, it's like it's folded back in itself. It's like it's rolled up like a sock that's been pulled up.
So far,
comes in
like
more important.
I'm getting this vibe that he's probably a hybrid between Steven Seagal and Jared Genesis.
He's like if
I could see
Steven Seagal and Jared Genesis had a love child.
Yeah.
That's where flexibility is even more important, because a lot of systems of karate you can kick low.
Eh.
Okay, you can hit very low. A lot of the kicks are going to be directed to the.
Oh, it's feet porn. Okay.
In real life, not in the ring, but in real life, they're going to be directed to the stomach and below. So you don't have to kick somebody in the face. It's just not something you have to do. So the way that you avoid having to stretch out before a fight is by having a dedicated stretching routine. It doesn't have to be complex. That's why I'm going to introduce the stretching routine.
Yeah.
Punching and sparring and doing all this stuff, that takes a lot of cardio. That's conditioning in and of itself. You don't want to blow yourself out on jumping jacks prior to taking an hour or hour and a half long karate class.
To the fact that you should stretch in the morning, and that if you live an active lifestyle, you can actually perform something that you do routinely.
Yeah. He's basically telling us the ancient Chinese art that if you do something, you'll be able to do it.
Yep.
There's a lot of like fat neckbeards that are into martial arts.
Look how dirty his floor is. Jesus Christ.
Ladies and gentlemen, this does not represent the men of Pennsylvania.
We're going to do something called a V stretch. Or a
my floor's way dirtier.
So, I'm not the best at this. So you want to go down to the center?
He's an amateur.
He's becoming a clitoris.
You don't need to stretch. Let me teach you how to stretch.
Fairly flexible.
Then you're gonna
Are you jealous, John Morgan?
Them beats dirty feet.
Yes, I was just thinking that. I was wondering if it was just the way the screen looked.
Yeah, I always wear socks. I never walk around barefoot.
And again, you want to hold ideally for about a count of 50.
Not even in the summer?
I have a bit of
Not even in the summer?
on my right side from spinning.
Oh wow, that's a sexy pose.
Jump spinning back kicks.
Oh, but look at his feet. The toes are all warped.
360 roundhouse kicks, 360 spinning back kicks, etc. So you might not know how different back down. You might not know how different martial arts actually benefit and why cross training is a benefit. And if you remember, Huang Ki's martial art is actually somewhat already a mixed martial art with the you're not
Now,
trying
does
to
he
tear your
compete
groin,
in
you're
martial
not
arts at
trying
all? Like,
No,
does
he
he go
wouldn't
to
be
a
allowed.
dojo
No,
or
no, he wouldn't be allowed anywhere near a public building because he's a mentally ill person, and
Yankee person?
yeah, mentally ill person. That's right, and that's why he
That's what I heard.
yeah. That's why he must be isolated. But unfortunately, it looks like that he is wrangled in another mentally ill person because someone is holding his camera for the first time and he's talking about how he's having sex with a nurse.
Hmm.
So
Did he
I've
really have
Is that
sex with
malpractice?
Adrastia?
what was that?
Did he really have sex with Adrastia?
I don't Adrastia?
You've never seen Adrastia.
Adrastia. I have not seen Adrastia. No.
Oh my. Oh my. So Adrastia is a homeless woman who a couple of years ago was involved in a relationship with a man and was dating this man. And this man had a wife. The wife had cerebral palsy. Adrastia and this man killed her and buried her body in the backyard.
I remember this now. Yes.
That's not nice.
Right? And then, she for 5 weeks played house and then said I was, kidnapped and handcuffed. And then she went from Florida to LA because someone told her that they give you houses in LA if you're homeless. And she's out in
That's
LA and
yeah.
lives in a truck for a while and then gets an apartment. That lady, right?
Mm,
You know, this lady that I'm talking about?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Adonis Paul, I don't know if he's
I know
just
the
another
name.
YouTuber. He and his community have figured out or somehow linked the two of them, this dude right here, and Adrastia, saying that he finally lost his virginity because he made this thing about grape drink.
Yeah.
And it got him so much like play and pussy that Adrastia slept with him.
So you're saying
Because
that that might be Adrastia holding the camera right there?
no, I don't think she's holding the camera. I just think that the two of them are sleeping together.
Okay.
Like the Rube Goldberg of crazy events.
Mm.
There's
This is
a
just what I think on tubes.
yeah. But he could have been someone we could have invited. We wouldn't have for obvious reasons. But we could have invited him. And I suppose who else could we have gotten in
I
from
will
these
not
guys?
hang out with that man.
No, no.
Sorry, who?
That man on the
Two
screen, the karate
Ah.
nurse dude. I will not hang out with him.
No.
That's
Yeah.
worse than fucking August.
Where does Dirt live in? Or he moved out of
He's
Pennsylvania?
in North Carolina. He's from New Jersey, I think.
Yeah, I knew he was from one of the tri-states.
Yeah.
The Liver King.
Might
I made
be
a
able to get
video about Liver King. Jesus Christ. Here's Jimmy. Drink Grape
Grape drink.
Jimmy, the stimulant-free pre-post-out work that will drive the nurses.
Why?
So earlier today, someone complimented my hair. They thought I was putting mayonnaise in it. They said, "James, your hair, it looks amazing. It looks very healthy."
Mayonnaise.
And they were wondering why it was so healthy. They had stated that perhaps I was putting mayonnaise in my hair. Maybe that's why it looked so healthy.
Oh, it's
No,
semen.
not at all. I take very specific micronutrient.
Probably not great for the hair, semen, because it gets like dry really
Yeah.
quick, and then it probably I can imagine it causes dandruff if it got into your scalp.
I don't know.
A lot of people who swear by mayonnaise masks and But I don't like mayonnaise enough to be that personal with it.
So you don't bathe in mayo like
Not
every week
no.
as a treat?
You're letting
Oh,
down
am
your
I the only one?
Caucasian. Yeah, you're letting down your Caucasian side there.
Hmm.
You know?
Hmm.
It goes back to that raisins don't go in salads. You don't mix the mayonnaise and the raisins.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Just bathe in bleach.
I'll tell you what would work if you were German. Then you would, because they put Enten in their salads.
I'm
it's
German and I do not, and I take offense to that.
I mean German, so whatever the American knockoff
fuck you.
country. Yeah. Oh, really? Because
I'm not an American knockoff. My grandma came over from there.
A few months ago, you were adamant that you were a fucking Polak.
I am. My dad was half German, half Polish.
Oh, me?
Half and half.
Identifying as a black guy, like my ancestors trace back my family tree, and like 10,000 years ago, yeah, my ancestors were living in Africa. Or no, it was like 100,000 years ago.
Yeah, I have records going back that far too. You know what they'd say?
What's that?
They say you're full of shit. You're full of shit, Gene!
You know what, Gene? My grandmother did one of those little thingies, and they found out that I am one of the daughters of the American Revolution. So, sit on it. I'm bad.
My relatives weren't part of that. They were from Ireland, actually, or in Wales.
This is my mother's side, not my father's side.
I've got crazy. My ma's side is very straightforward Irish English. My dad's side is. Let me see if I remember it right. My dad's side is one part Roma Gypsy, one part Sudetenland, Czech Jewish. He also became a communist, so he abandoned the Jewish faith. But you can't, the whole blood libel thing, so you can't really abandon that. And also. I've got a little bit of everything from the British Isles in me. With the exception of Scotland, I don't think I've got any connections to Scotland.
I have some. Oh, sorry.
No, just it was just a bit weird because everyone, when I grew up in Ireland, everyone would just be like, "Oh, like I've got foreign relatives. A few live out in the countryside," they were just. Like that was as far as they went, and then it was like, yeah, well, I'm technically a Jew. It kind of made the conversations come to a street and call. What?
A lot of my
That's offensive.
What? No,
like
by the blood.
You're gonna offend fucking two guns. Be nice.
Shalom, brother.
A lot of my family tree goes back to like Norway and Finland, Denmark. At least on my mom's side. That's why all the, even the women on my mom's side of the family are really big.
When you say big as in like...
They're really tall and they're like Amazonian.
Oh, they're all stocky. They're all like giant tree trunks of women lifting boulders over their shoulders.
My mother is taller than my dad, and and on my dad's side of the family, I don't know what the genetics are, but they're pretty wealthy and affluent in the 19th century. So I had a lot of really aristocratic relatives.
Oh.
I've got.
Yeah, I don't want to name drop my last name, but when we meet in person, I can show you some.
There's got to be a lot of Vaughns and Schliebenwitzes and stuff like that with your names.
Yeah, a lot of Gone with the Wind, Crown kind of relatives.
Oh, good. So, how many slaves did your ancestors own?
Well, they're all in the border states, so I don't think they actually owned, because I think the Hampton Mansion was really the only family that had slaves in Maryland. So they're all
fancy, and he had slaves.
Yeah, they're all from the New England states. like Massachusetts and Connecticut and stuff, and they all like don't get along with one another. So a lot of them are still very wealthy now, and they're constantly is like House of Cards, Game of Thrones kind of.
Motherfucker, you are a wasp.
What's that?
You're a wasp.
How am I a wasp?
Yeah, you're a wasp. You just described your family as being wealthy old like blue bloods. You're a fucking wasp.
I gotta look up what a wasp means.
I'm just like I'm Irish, French, and English.
So you're America, basically.
Yeah, I'm America that landed in Philly.
Same, pretty much.
Forgot Portugal.
I mean, if I had the German, it would be perfect. I have to do an ancestry test to find out if there's some secret German in there because we've got the Pennsylvania Dutch.
I'm sure you've
I mean, that is
connected
German.
to Hamburg or something back there, going far enough. Can I just say, by the way, Americans are obsessed with their ancestry. We really don't think much about it. It doesn't tend to go back beyond.
Well,
like,
it's
our
the melting
grandparents.
pot thing, except the difference is like depending on the paper trail, like you can figure out, where your drops in the pot came from, and a lot of times, not every time, but a lot of times they're interesting stories.
Yeah.
I think certain things, like not necessarily my parents' generation, but my grandparents' generation definitely talked. Like, I know mine because my mother's father's father's father was he stowed away on a boat. He was an Irish illegal immigrant. So I come from illegal immigrants, and my father was adopted, and his birth certificate name was, I mean, he's very French. So, but he's a French-Irish mix, and my mom is a German-Irish mix. So, yeah. But I don't know what mixed in with that, like what didn't make the oral history, so I just never bothered to take a genetic test.
I haven't done genetics yet either, but I do know because my immigrant pasts are like within the 20th century, which is kind of neat in that the oral tradition is very young still,
Yeah, I guess a lot of people lose it.
It doesn't mean it's all accurate, but basically, my dad's Dutch. He grew up in the Netherlands. His parents and their parents and their parents grew up in the Netherlands. He is first generation American. I am first generation American in his lineage on his side. About like 250 years ago, I forget exactly, his family goes back to Germany. So, yeah, Dutch. On my mom's side, it is a weird. It's 6 places that we know of, or that we were told about, and they are the British Isles, namely Ireland, England, and Scotland, and then Russia, Latvia, Romania. So like Iron Curtain.
What about Israel?
And that was Israel, and those latter 3, the Eastern Bloc stuff, is where my Jewish part comes from on my mom's side.
I always wanted to be Russian. I feel like if I ever had an accent, like a European accent, I'm not the type of chick that would have like a French accent. I would need like one of those like hearty accents.
You sound like you have a kind of like a vibe.
I have such a weird phobia of Russian lady accents. If a Russian woman yells at me, I'm just like, oh my god, yes, ma'am. Like it's bad. It's really bad.
Love it.
I've always got, as you can tell, my accent's a little bit all over the place, but that's an entirely me generation thing. Though I did grow up in a house that was predominantly like London accents. My ma was raised in London for a good chunk, and my dad was raised in London for a good chunk. And they met in London and while they'd been living in Ireland for years, the accent never really hooked on my dad, and it only kind of vaguely hit off my ma. But then I've always hung around Americans, so people always assume I'm American. Um, so that's how I've ended up with whatever the hell you'd call my accent. It's like it's almost trans. You could almost say it's transatlantic, but then everyone always thinks I should sound like this all the time. Newsies, news on the march. But
When I travel,
yeah.
like to the northern states, like the tri-states and New England states, they always think I'm from the South, and then when I go to the South, they think I'm from the North.
I don't think you sound like you're from the South.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
don't
I
sound
know.
like you're from the South at all. All right.
Do I have like a Baltimorean accent?
You live too close to the Mason-Dixon line.
Yeah, you
What's
just
that?
you sound like you could be living down the street from me. Like you sound like everyone around me.
Oh,
Like,
Gage, that's rich. Gage has no accent whatsoever.
Nope, not at all. Oh,
Um.
God.
All right.
I gotta cook dinner for my kids, guys.
I was gonna say we might. I
Love
think
you.
we've basically covered all the basics now at this point. So unless anyone has any suggestions besides, but
Oh, Red Eye's got a British accent.
yeah, it's so British that it went around the world, but then got stuck halfway and became its own thing.
Why do like Australians sound more British than you guys? You
Because
Irish.
they
Yeah, I thought he was South African. He's Australian? Are you serious?
what? You're joking, right?
I
Yeah.
mean,
Okay.
the Irish, like you guys are closer, so why do you guys sound
Well, it's
so?
because we weren't a part of the empire in the 20th century as much. There wasn't as much intermixing. The English were always over there somewhere. But in Australia, there was no divide for the longest time. It was all just English. Then one day, half the country was Australian, and then the divide kicked off. But the, the, oh, also don't forget that the Poms exist. The Poms were the English who, after the war, immigrated out of the UK to Australia because Australia needed to increase their population, so they had a really cheap deal for people who wanted to immigrate. I forget they were called Pomeranians by the Australians, and they just became the Poms for short. So all the English are called Poms, and they interact. Same goes for. Here's a good example. Canada was also a part of the
British
Commonwealth.
Empire.
The British Empire and then the Commonwealth. But because you guys have more of an impact on their lives than Britain does, they sound more closer to Americans than do Canadians.
Oh. Apparently, how British people sounded, like hundreds of years ago, is more closely it's more similar to like the U.S. and Canadian accent than it is to the current British accent.
Not really, because those accents are still around. Like if you go to Somerset, if you go down to let me try to do a Cornwall accent. No, I can't do a Cornwall accent. I'm too tired. Which is
What
weird
do you
because
think?
but like the point I'm trying to make is those accents were the original colonists who came over to the Americas. They sounded like they were from Devon and Southampton and Somerset and if you ever seen if you ever seen Lord of the Rings, the Hobbits, that's how you motherfuckers sounded originally, and then they warped over a very short amount of time into unique American accents.
It's the story behind like the Geordie accent, Geordians.
Yeah, Geordies and the.
Why do they speak English, but they sound like they don't speak English? Like, what's wrong with them?
Immigration. I think actually in the case of the Geordies, that was entirely. Wait, no, the Geordies are the Northern English, right?
Dude, look up the Geordie accent and listen to
Oh,
listen to
that's
them
Northern
talk.
English. Well, that's simple. That's a combination of a lot of people groups moving around. At one point,
Yeah.
that was the part of the Danelaw. That was the Vikings and shit. So they would have had their own unique take on things, which would have given them their own cultural thing. But then later on, you had all the movement of the Scottish, and then you had finally all the smaller accents moving around, plus the English coming up with the more traditional English one. Now with the Scouser accent, the Liverpool accent, a good chunk of that is Irish, because a lot of Irish immigrated over to Liverpool, and it's why in parts of Birmingham, you don't really have English at all. You have like Indian and Pakistani accents because the movement of people, which you know,
You guys have too many accents in those
yeah.
islands.
Well, that's rich coming from an American.
I think we have a. Yeah, actually, in all honesty, I think we have a smaller amount of like dialects and stuff.
The South alone has about as much as the fucking the British Isles.
I just view them as all being the same.
So
I know
Shabby sounds the exact
there's
same as Texas as someone from Texas. Not Shabby,
uh,
Pitmonk sounds exact same as being from
no,
Central
I
Texas.
know like there's the taxonomy where there's notable deviations, but I think like a lot of the different accents and like the British Isles, they have a distinction that seems to be fairly like broader than what you have with a lot of the U.S. like accents.
Speaking of, there is a small part of, I think it's New Jersey, where the original colonist accents are still around and they sound like they're from the UK.
Hmm.
It's really, really tiny. It's like, let me see, original, um, American colonist accent. Before, with a rhetoric accent? The fuck? Pronouns. No, okay, great. But no, I swear to Christ, I saw a video of like someone being interviewed, and they were from like some little peninsula on the eastern seaboard, and they all sounded like they were. He sounded like he was from like fucking like
Are you
Dover.
thinking of like Newfoundland, Labrador?
What about it?
I'm saying, are you thinking of that?
No,
That's
no,
in
that
like
is unique
Canada.
as well. That sounds very Scottish.
Yeah.
That does. Um, and again, it's because it's because of like people moving around from those areas. They tend to sound. It's why Northern Ireland sounds like Scottish accent. Because a lot of Scottish people moved in. Network English because of the Bell Post.
Pennsylvania
Alright.
Dutch speaks its own language. They speak Pennsylvania Dutch. Not all of them, but a lot of the older ones do.
Yeah.
Even there are videos where Germans are trying to understand what the Pennsylvania Dutch people are saying. Like it has become their own like dialect to the point where it's almost their own language.
Oh, I guarantee you, if you were from like Amsterdam and you went out there, it'd be very hard to understand what they were saying. Um, it's like when you go up to, if you're French and you go up to Quebec, they sound all like they've been hit over the head with like a tire iron. Apparently, they
Sound
sound
the
like they
same.
completely fuck up the language. Then again, the French always fuck up their language. There's like 7 different types of French in France alone. Um, no,
There's only one because when I listen to them all, they just sound the same.
uh, uh, I'm kind of zonking out. I've been up all night. I think, like I said, if there's anything you guys could suggest, we do. Like I'm only gonna be in Philly, for example, for about 8 hours or so. Um, uh, if there's anything in particular you guys want to do, like I said, I wouldn't say no going to the waterfront. If the weather's good, if the weather's shite, we'll do something inside.
Right now, when exactly are you guys meeting in like New York and everything?
16th, 17th, then 18th, then the 19th and the 20th. Well, not the 20th, obviously. I'll be heading home on the 20th. But so the 19th will be the only free day that I'll have to myself. Because Missy, of course, will be joining in. And I'll be landed on the 16th. I'll be landing around about 6 o'clock in the evening time on New York, which is going to be annoying because of rush hour. Yay. But
Right now, when are you gonna be in Philly? Like all
the
those days you
18th.
listed. Okay. I thought you were saying like New York. You're gonna, yeah.
No. 16th to 16th, 17th, New York, then Philly on the 18th, and the last 2 days back in New York.
Philly is basically a day trip within the trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something I tend to do on my trips anyway. I learned very early
As you
on
should. It's
that-
totally reasonable and feasible.
Yeah. Hell, I was actually considering if I had a little bit more time, I might have even gone up to Boston. See, I've never been up to Boston before, but that's pushing it a bit much of what I can do.
In the interest of time, I won't get into it now, but we can definitely talk shop about. I'm not like a big like globetrotter or anything, but I've been on some fairly epic journeys that this conversation could lead into.
Yeah, that's cool. I for one, I'm thinking finances, and I'm thinking just time, because
Yeah.
on the 20th I don't want to be anywhere like more than an hour away from JFK. So
For sure.
and when I land, let's be honest here, I'll have the rest of the evening, but I'm probably going to be exhausted and stinky. I'm going to need a good shower. But after that, then I can maybe, at the very least, I could have a drink with someone, but who's going to be in New York? Ironically, it was going to be Augusta. I was going to buy him a drink at the bar in the hostel that I stay at. But that wasn't going to happen now. So I guess I'll just make my way straight up to the hostel and just sort of chill, have a change of clothes, and just kind of vibe in the morning. Well, like Missy said, she's coming in fucking early, so I don't want to be sleeping too long, which means I probably don't want to be going to bed too late. Speaking of, I guess we'll wrap this up in about 10 minutes just to make it a nice round hour.
How long are you gonna be in Philly, Tugans?
I live 45 minutes away, so I'm effectively always in Philly on command.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you guys should do something yourselves after I'm gone. Like, make your own plans, seeing that you're right by each other.
I made Tugans sick of me.
Yeah, John smells.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I'm gonna have to get a good whiff of him when I see him. Oh, and by the way, the streaming wise, I'm gonna say now, while I will be streaming a good chunk of things, there'll be times where I won't want to, I won't be able to, or I'll be asked by somebody not to stream. So there'll be times when you guys in the chat and anyone else, I suppose, will be able to see firsthand. I'll try to stream here on YouTube, but just as likely I might be streaming over on Twitch. So that's going to be the gist of it. As for doing a sort of IP2 walking down the street thing, if the Wi-Fi is strong enough and my phone can handle it, yeah, we'll do that. I'll try it anyway, at least once.
I would
If not,
probably
we'll-
do it
yeah.
with my phone and
Well,
put it on your channel and stuff. What's that?
maybe. Look, my phone's fine. It's just that I don't know how the foreign Wi-Fi will work with mine, but it should work in theory. I mean, I don't see any reason why not. And then I will. I'll also be making a video, of course, even if it's just got to be a compilation of some crazy shit. But no one, like, I'm here on holiday as well. That's the key thing. So I want to actually like just have the camera off and enjoy you guys' company. I'm not gonna not say no to an opportunity of trying to hook up, so I'm not gonna be on camera doing that. I'm also just going to want to have conversations with some randos I meet at bars, especially on the 19th. If it's me going solo, that'll be the perfect time for me to just kind of like hit a bar and chat to someone and see where the day takes me. But yeah, no, especially if I feel. Here's one thing: if it's like late at night and I'm by myself, yeah, I'm whipping out the camera to do like a live stream, if only to have record of me getting mugged, you know. But it's gonna be a good trip, and while it's not gonna be anywhere near as long as the last one, it's still going to be fantastic, and I'm looking forward to meeting you guys and anyone else who wants to come. If you're on the
What if it's
Eastboard,
bad?
Seaboard,
It won't be bad.
why would it be bad?
I never know.
Oh, I'm prepared if shit happens. Hell, this is actually something I need to address between the delays and cancellations that the FAA has been doing, and the weather, and just the whims of air travel. The flight just might be cancelled, and if that's the case, what am I to do? Like, there's no, won't be able to do it.
They're gonna send saboteurs to make sure that happens.
Well, if that happens, then I'm actually going to do something very practical. I'm going to turn all my dollars back into euro, and then pay off as many of the bills that I have that I want to deal with ahead of time. So throughout the year, it won't be so bad. So I will be very practical and adult about it. And although I'll still feel gutted because once again an American trip ended in disaster. But I'm pumped. Oh, as for gifts, there's only one gift I have to pick up. I have to pick up a bottle of Sheepdog, the peanut butter whiskey. That's for my barman Dave. He wants a bottle of it. He wants to try it out, see if he wants to stock it himself.
Can you get me a gift?
No, well I can, but I'm not going to. Your gift will be me.
Aww.
Yeah, like I will literally be here to make your life. I could say better, but we know that's a lie. But no,
Stacy, I took like pills hours ago. I feel like I'm high.
I feel like I got all this fucking beer for tonight, and I've been nursing this one can. It's a good sign that I should just go to sleep. Also, one thing, if Raisin, if you could at any point, if you see the opportunity, I'd like to get one of those sort of like state buttons, you know, a button with the state logo on it for my flag.
Like a pin on, like that kind of like a. All right,
Yeah.
you could take a look at that.
If you could see one, or if you know a place I can snag it up that won't cost a fortune, and I'll do the same with New York when well, wherever.
And you want the state, not the city?
Yeah, because I'm gonna put a pin over each star of the places I've been to. So I've been so I've been meaning to do that for a while now.
Like a little button.
Yeah, like a small button that you put on like your coat or lapel, you know.
I'm asking so like the little ones are like what, like I don't know, like an inch around, and then the bigger ones are like I don't know, like a good like 2.5-inch buttons that used to be able to get the button presses for and stuff.
Yeah, you know, just a button. Like it's just I honestly don't know which it would be.
It's like
Take a picture of your collection, so just so I have a reference.
All right,
I don't want to get the wrong one.
I'll send you a picture of the buttons on my coat, my old army coat, and
awesome.
Your old Barbie coat?
Yeah, I got an old Soviet army coat on eBay years ago, and I kind of.
Oh, army.
What do you think I said?
thought you said Barbie.
Yeah, I've got a Barbie code too. Why? You gonna kink shame me?
I
I'm a Barbie girl
do
in a
you.
Barbie fucking world, okay? And I am not gonna be oppressed by you or anyone else. Except for maybe-
Fantastic.
Well, life is plastic. All right, I am clearly running on fumes. It's been a good stream. Sorry about yesterday. I was as you can see here, my sleep is very much against streaming right now. Now, like I said, next time I will stream might be in a bar in Dublin someplace, but more likely you might see me when I'm, say, in Iceland on my transfer over to New York, or maybe when I'm in New York itself. I'll keep in touch on Discord and stuff like that, but which you should be a part of our Discord.
You
It's a fun
better, or
place.
we'll fucking chase you down, bitch.
Yeah, we'll do a pink belly on you for hours until
Yes.
until you look like one of the Californian raisins, you know.
Yep.
But yeah, like if you want to be a part of this, just join the Discord and drop me a line, or just say something in the comments like, "Hey, I'm in New York from such and such to such and such. You want to meet up?" I'm like, maybe. All I can do is say no, you know. But yeah. Thanks to everyone who showed up, and sorry also that Micky or Magicus didn't show up. No idea about Micky. I don't know where he's gotten to, but Magicus was going to be on yesterday, and well, I didn't show up yesterday, so I've only got myself to blame.
Are they still coming to Philly?
Who?
Micky and Magicus.
Magicus, I think, is coming over. That's where he sounded like he was originally going to go over to New York, but then he said it would be easier traffic-wise for him to come over to Philly. And Micky, I think, is going to aim for New York. But like I said, I haven't heard either hair of him, so I don't know if he's still down for that. But like whatever, like if there's things that are gonna go wrong on this trip, it's fine. That's just what happens. So some people won't show up, or maybe we'll want to do something and we won't be able to. I don't know, but we'll just deal with that as it happens. I don't want to set too many plans, because that'll be doomed to failure, and I don't want this to be a failure. I want this to be a success. So, all right.
Go to bed.
Yes, I must leave you now to your own devices. Thank you all so much for showing up, and thank you all so much in the chat for showing up. If you liked what you saw tonight, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And do subscribe, because you're going to be seeing a lot more New York and Philly-based things over the next week. So,